Hola, Beduros. Soy Billy, este Tomorrow Talking Book y escuchamos a la idea
Fija.
fija, Argentina.
La idea es que nos cuentes cuándo te diste cuenta que ibas a ser músico, cuándo fue la primera vez que vos notaste que la música va a ser tu vida, si es que hubo algún momento en que vos te diste cuenta o surgió directamente.
Nico wants to know when do you know or whether you see that you have you can play music. I think I'm a musician. What was that time? I know it's a long time ago, but when and why?
Two times. First time, 6 years old, my grandfather died and we got his piano in our house. And I started learning how to teach myself how to play. And that was the first time I did something that actually I started learning that made me do it all the time. The second time was when I got my bass guitar and I joined the group and we played a bar in LA. Why the bass? Another instrument, the piano, the guitar, or... I hung around in a little gang of kids on bicycles, and one of them was Roddy, actually. And everybody decided they wanted to start a band. But some guy, he already had a drum set, another guy already had a guitar, so all they needed was a bass player, and that was the only other guy. So I was like, okay, I'll be the bass player. That was it. And when was the time that you realized that that was serious, that was your life? High school. 16, 17 years old. I decided that that's what I like to do because I was going to rehearsal all the time. I was playing at night, going to school during the day, and that's when I decided that's what I wanted. And your family were musicians? Your parents? No, not at all. And I think they were hoping that I would not, that I was just... They tell you... Yeah, like it's cool. They didn't discourage me. But I think that secretly by themselves they were hoping that I would find a good profession. And at that time, it was difficult for you to start playing, to go to a gig, to start recording, or you find it easy? It was difficult for me. A bass is an easier instrument to learn, to start. It gets more difficult later. But I was always playing in groups that were really weird, strange groups, so it was always hard, actually. And what makes you keep playing music until now? Or what thing? I can't do anything else. But what's the thing that you like more about music? Playing, recording? I like playing and I like recording. They're all different, but I like all of those aspects. I think probably what I like the most is you can always challenge yourself with it. If you're active, you can take an active approach, and you can always go to a new place with it and learn something new. What kind of music do you hear at that time and now? It's the same kind of music. You change your... Well, when I was 13? When you start playing? It was before punk rock. So it was things then like Genesis, John Lennon, yes, and then probably 1977, 1978, it was Sex Pistols, and then punk rock. And now you keep on listening to that music, or what do you like most? I like Genesis and Yes and punk rock. The same. I reclaim without Lennon. I was ashamed of this when I was in my high school years that I listened to this terrible shit, but now I can appreciate it more. That influenced your music? What's that? That the kind of music influenced you as a player and your music when you made music? I can't say anything really influenced me as a player so much as it gave me an idea of where I could go with something. It opened up my mind. I think of music like visual things. I don't know how to read music. Everything to me is visual inside. That's the way you made music? I paint pictures. That's how I write music. And you start playing with what the things now? Not about love, because everywhere I go, I just fucking hear music about love all the time. And you don't like it? I don't want to go there. I'm already there. I already live in that shit. I go other places that I don't get, that I feel like, in a lot of ways, society is very restricted on the images that we get given. So I like to find new images and take me someplace that's not typical.
I read in an interview that you said that you don't hear to American music now, and you try to listen to music from another
That's
place.
for sure.
You hear Argentine music? You like some group or some music, or?
I know some, but not as much as I should. I've been here only 2.5 days and haven't been absorbing a lot of music, but I am definitely interested. I mean, I know the culture here is deep. I know you have a long musical tradition, so I would definitely have a very open mind for it.
What's your role of producer? You have your own company, you work with another band. Is that different from being a musician yourself?
Definitely different, completely different. I would say that I actually almost don't like it, but it does give me an insight into how music works that I think is very valuable.
And that's why you keep on doing it?
Yeah, I mean, to be a record label means you have to sell records to people, which means you're in sales. You're selling things. You have to survive by selling things. And so you have to work in this mentality. And for me, my background, it's not like that. And it was a bit of an adjustment, but it's good for me to understand because that's how the world works.
How was in that day the decision of how many songs and what kind of songs enter to an album? Because each CD, for example, has
11 or 12 songs.
Yeah. How you decide? Because each song are very different.
And
one
another
from
one,
each other.
and on
Very
those days,
different.
another one more. The duration was an hour, no more than that. You know what I mean? 12 songs.
We usually had 14 songs.
14 songs. Right?
And 2 were just so bad. We just hope nobody ever hears it.
You only 14 songs for record.
Because
when the
in those days, yes, because in those days we had to tour all the time. So we had just enough to make the record and record it, and as soon as recorded, we were already making another tour.
And how was the composition of each songs?
Totally different.
All the band play together in a time.
Sometimes I have an idea, I bring to everybody. It's always different. That's why there's so much variety.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You used to, when you made a song, you used to start with the lyrics, with the music. It's a mix of all of the things.
Very rarely start with the lyrics, but a few times we did start with the lyrics.
You remember one or two songs that started like that?
Why Do You Bother was the lyrics. I think Be Aggressive maybe was the lyrics first.
That Marilyn Manson take afterwards.
Those are the big, but mostly it was music. Mostly.
And who was the one that take care of the lyrics?
Mike.
Mike. He always, or
98% of the time. Roddy wrote Be Aggressive, and I wrote Why Do You Bother. But Mike wasn't in the band then.
Nowadays, it's difficult to be another reunion of Pay No More, or
it's difficult
to be together again with Pay No More.
To
play again. There is some possibility.
It's cool. It's different, but it's cool. I mean, everybody has families. So, well, not everybody, but people have families, children, things like that, married. So our relationship, we are together, but we have separate lives. But I think it's actually very positive. I think the last tours were great.
You keep get in mind to record a new CD or just gigs?
I talk about it all the time. It's a difficult question to answer because let me think about. I have to think about the right way to say it. All I can say is our relationship is very good. And so I think that if we want to do something creative together, it would be a very good opportunity.
With your new band or new project, it's very different from what you've done up before with Pay No More. Was that on purpose, or you?
No. It's just actually Jared was doing some really cool stuff. He's a sound collage artist. He's an abstract music artist, and I knew him, and I liked what he did, and I wanted to see what would happen if I could do something with him together. It wasn't an intention to do something different from Faith No More or similar.
Yeah, and that kind of music, when you play live, what's the answer from the people who see? Because
A lot of different reactions, actually. Some don't understand. Some stand still with their eyes closed. Some, I don't know. It's very new, actually, this project, and playing live is very new. So we're getting all different reactions. I don't quite understand how they're reacting.
For you being on stage,
yeah,
I'm playing this kind of music that is different.
I'm getting better. I didn't like it at first because my approach to music was always physical, always. And a laptop is not physical at all. And the first two shows, I felt guilty having people watch me on my laptop. I felt like a complete asshole. But
you need something.
I'm getting better. Yeah, I need to break something, but now I'm getting better now.
Do you have any project for this year and next year?
I do, but it's too early to talk about. Yes, there will be something next year.
Alone? In another group?
A couple different things. A couple interesting things.
Okay. What do you like to do when you're not playing? When you're a normal guy?
Watch TV? No.
Drink beer?
Actually, I spend a lot of time in the studio. I have a studio that's really in a cool old space, and I spend a lot of time working on music. That's kind of what I like to do. Lately, I like to read a lot. I read a lot of history.
When you go to the supermarket, you move like any guy?
Any guy, absolutely. I mean, it's cool. On my block where I live in San Francisco, I lived on this block for 25 years. So I know everybody. So sometimes somebody gives me
people recognize you for being a musician?
Some people, but I always lived on this block, so it's my neighborhood. It's like my family, so it's okay.
When you were young, do you have any band that you say, oh, I like to know anybody, any band?
Definitely. Lots
and you
can do that with any band that you ever like or not? You have the chance to know.
I could do that. Yes. But I don't like them as much as I used to. You know, you get older and the mystery goes away. I'm now seeing things from their side of things, from touring. When I see a band, I see all the bullshit. I see everything. It's very hard not to be cynical. It takes me a lot of work to stay in
live or in a CD. It's the same.
I can hear everything. I'm just, in a way, I'm very jaded. But that's why I try to do things like talking books to keep me enthusiastic, innocent in a way.
What do you like about American music?
What do I do like about it?
Yeah. You're playing and you produce a band that's from Chile.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. That's more exciting because I think people outside of America love music more than Americans. I think Americans are used to being the center of the world, the cultural world, and they take it for granted. And they think about things like business. And I think outside America, you get a lot more enthusiasm that I like. It's contagious for me.
Are you planning coming here or to Chile or to another country in Latin America more often?
I would love to. I have no problem coming back. I mean, I could see living here for a while. I could definitely. It just depends what I'm working on. I mean, I'm 50 years old now, so I feel my time is getting shorter, and there's a lot of things I want to do. And everything I want to do takes time. I would like to do everything. I could live in 3 places at once, I would do it.
What would be that place?
Where places? 3 places at once, I would say would be, well, probably here or Santiago, or maybe Rio de Janeiro, maybe Moscow, and Belgrade, Serbia.
Okay.
Love it.
Why?
Belgrade because I have a sympathetic feeling for that city. I feel home when I'm there.
Not San Francisco, not your place.
I like it, but I lived there for 30 years.
Yeah, but it's a nice place.
It's my home, but, you know, there's no mystery. There's no mystery. It's a beautiful city. It's a great city.
What's the difference between playing for a lot of guys when you were in no more and your project that you are alone and there are less people watching? For being how can you change your mind, your how do you say mind?
The mentality.
Yeah, mentality.
I think there's a certain point when you're thinking and you're focusing on music and doing live performance that it's no different. It's the same. There's different distractions, different bullshit, but I'm gonna take this show tomorrow night just as seriously as if we were playing in a stadium with Faith No More. To me, it's the same.
What are your best 5 live performances that you remember?
5.
Or places that you play and you like because of the show?
One would be one of the shows we did in Chile. Great.
The last tour?
The last tour, the last one was
that was
really good with the singers. That was great.
With Trey.
Yeah, that was great.
That was the last No More show.
Yes, right.
Band.
I don't know. We did some crazy shows. Some were very chaotic. Some were just really good. I mean, I don't know. I played shows with Faith No More since 1984, so it's hard to say which ones.
And songs that you are more...
It changes all the time.
Sometimes
I hate this one, sometimes I like
you
it.
You keep on listening to your own songs?
No, I don't. Only play, not listen.
Not anymore?
No.
Why?
Never did. Once the record is finished, that's enough.
You never hear it again?
No, because you're making a record and you hear it 5 million times, and you never want to hear it. It's okay to play, but I don't want to hear it anymore.
And what the CDs in general that for you is more representative to your music, for all that you made?
They're all very different, from different stages of my life. But I am very happy with all of them. The first one, I would say the first one is a little embarrassing because it's so 80s.
You were
so
young.
It's like, but it's good, but it's hard. It's looking at myself when I was a stupid kid, like a picture. I was like, that idiot I was.
It's unique.
But it is unique. It is,
right.
And I understand. And I have to step away and go, that's not me. That was a young guy. Cool.
Well,
but you have to stop.
It's a strange thing. My favorite, actually, album is Album of the Year. That's my favorite one.
You were a producer.
I did, but it was also, I think, in a weird way, it was a much more mellow, moody record, but the most honest one, I think,